Hello guys, this is the-epiphany. In today's video I'm going to be showing you one of the ways that I make commas, and it involves legendary treasure hunting. Before I do that, I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone, and I'd like to make some announcements before I continue. The first one involves my fecker on the server Eliseo, and as you can see here, my guild Platinum has actually joined the Symbiose Alliance, which is the strongest alliance in the server Eliseo. There's been a lot of action going on, a lot of perk prism attacks, a lot of coughs. It's very interesting. It's a lot more interesting than Echo, you know, there's like action that is non-stop here. So I hope to get some footage of that and upload it to YouTube to show you guys. The second announcement I want to make involves my guild Vital on the server Echo. As of 2 days ago, we have left the Curse Alliance after being here for over a year. And I've been receiving a lot of PMs from people asking why we've left. My guild leader Zeph here has also been receiving a lot of PMs. I cannot go into the reasons because they are confidential and private towards certain members of my guild. However, I can say that personally I have nothing against the Curse Alliance. I actually tried to convince my members to stay in the Curse Alliance for as long as possible. However, the majority of people wanted to leave, so Zephyr had to go with the majority rules and remove Vital out of Curse. Okay, so getting into the video now. Basically, the strategy requires legendary treasure hunting, and I have been using this strategy for quite a while now, and I can confirm that it is effective, because using this strategy, there are a wide variety of things that you can do. It is not like a standard maging technique where, you know, you just mage one item and sell that item, because if that's the case, then everyone will just mage the same item and sell it, and that strategy will no longer work because there's too much competition. The reason why I say that this strategy has a wide variety is because if you take a look at the desk here for assemble a map, you can see that there are a lot of monsters you can choose from to legendary treasure hunt from. You may be aware that these monsters are actually bounty monsters. If you do the monsters as a bounty, what I mean by that is fighting the monsters and then handing them into an outpost or a militia, you'll get doubloons as a reward. However, doing it this way will actually get you a special resource which is only obtainable by beating this legendary monster. You also get chests with roses of the sands or random map fragments for another treasure hunt. You'll see later when I get up to that stage. But in a nutshell, there's a lot of monsters you can choose from here. The lower the level of the monster, the less map fragments it requires. And obviously the easier it is. So if you guys, you know, don't feel confident fighting a level 200 monster, just do an easier one. Okay, so let's get into the video on how we can get the fragments. The example that I'll be doing in this video is going to be the Scampihorse monster. So if we search up Scampihorse, you'll see there are 8 fragments here that you can choose from. Alright, let's arrange this by name. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the specific resource that is specific to this monster is a Scampihorse's rechargeable battery. And by doing this legendary treasure hunt, you are guaranteed to get one of these resources. Another monster you can do is, let's say, Atchem. So, Atchem has 8 map fragments, and the resource that is specific towards it is the Atchem's hair. As you can see, the Atchem's hair costs 3 million, which is more expensive than the Scampihorse resource that I showed you earlier. Now that's logical because for a few reasons. The fragments of Scampihorse as you can see here, are actually quite cheap. So the total cost of all the fragments should be cheaper than the cost of the special resource. Because if it's more expensive than the resource, then you're making a loss, and this wouldn't be a profitable Karma's method. Now, Scampihorse is pretty cheap, but if you look at Atchem, you'll see that some of the fragments aren't even available because they are rarer or on higher demand, which means a lot of people keep the fragments and use it for themselves, or they, I don't know, they sell it. It's already been bought. But in overall, the prices of Atchem fragments are more expensive than the Scampihorse, as you can see here. So let me just put up another example of a lower level monster in case you're curious. Okay, so let's say Bruman. So Bruman has only 3 fragments, and if you take a look here, 45 kk, 65 kk, and 100 kk, so that's around 210 kk. And the special resource, which is Bruman's elixir, is 449 kk. So it is cheap, but obviously, you know, you only need 3 fragments for that. So it's honestly up to preference of what you like to use it for. So that's pretty much how the fragments work. So I'm just going to buy each of the fragments now, and we're gonna take note of how much money we have before and after we finish buying, so that we can see how much we have left. Alright, fragment 1. Fragment 2. Fragment 3. Fragment 4. Fragment 5. Fragment 6. Fragment 7. And fragment 8. Okay, so we had 975 million, 68 kk, 746 before. Now we have 974,740,993. So that's a total of 327 kk that we spent. So 327 kk is good because that is cheaper than the price of the special resource that the treasure hunt gives. Okay, so now that we have all of the fragments, we are going to be heading over to the treasure hunt place. Okay, so once you've arrived here, you're going to click on the desk, assemble a map. And you're going to find Scampihorse. Okay, I actually have 8 fragments of Atchem that I saved up a couple of months ago, but ignore it now. So we're going to be doing Scampihorse. So click on Scampihorse, and it'll assemble the 8 fragments that you've just obtained from the market into a map. Alright, so once you've done that, close the interface and go over to Hunt for Legendary Treasure. Now, the only... Okay, so if you untick this, it'll only display whatever treasure hunt that is possible if you have that map. So since I only have the Scampihorse's map in my inventory, only Scampihorse's treasure will appear. All of the other possibilities do not appear. So, Scampihorse's treasure, begin. So now what we have is pretty much like an ordinary treasure hunt or a portal hunt. And it's 6 stages, so it is a little longer. I'm pretty sure portal hunt is usually 3 or 4 stages. I'm going to fast forward the video now because it's essentially just an ordinary treasure hunt and it's pretty boring. If you want to know how to treasure hunt in detail, check out Benjamin's video on how to treasure hunt. I'll link that in the description box below. essentially I'm just going to be using this website to help me out with the hunt. So yeah. Okay, so once you have gotten up to the final stage of the treasure hunt, you have to start the fight. And before I start the fight, there's some things that I need to mention. The first thing is that the mob that you are fighting is always going to be a singular mob of just the bounty monster, or in this case, the legendary treasure hunt monster that you are facing. So it'll only be the Scampihorse that I will be facing here. The second thing I want to mention is that you should do a little bit of research about the monster you are fighting. Ideally, you do the research before you buy the map fragments to, start the treasure hunt. I should have mentioned this at the start. And in this case, the Scampihorse monster. If we have a look here, we can read about how the monster mechanics work. And more importantly, the resistances, 30% fire. And as you can see here, I have two teammates with me, which is my Sacria and my Osa. So it's important that you have, some help with you, because especially for level 200 legendary treasure hunt monsters, they are quite difficult to beat solo. I'd say it's almost impossible to beat them solo actually, because they have 30,000 HP and they hit around 1,000 damage a turn in an area of effect. Now the reason why I've chosen 3 people for this fight is a strategical reason. If you take a look here, one of the mechanics is that it places 1 to 3 blue glyphs on the map, and to make the monster vulnerable, you need to put all your characters on the glyphs. So all the glyphs need to be occupied. Now, if you bring only 2 people and the monster puts 3 glyphs, you will not be able to make it vulnerable, because one of the glyphs will have nobody standing on it. So yeah, that's just a bit of background information for Scampihorse. Let's start the fight. I'd like to thank one of my subscribers who suggested to me to deactivate the animations, because deactivating animations actually improves, it reduces the lag of the gameplay quite a lot in the fight. Alright, let's take a look. My turn is first, but I can't do anything, obviously, because, it's invulnerable. Alright, let's wait a little longer. I'm just gonna charge up my Wormling and then swap the Sakura in. You know, standard procedure for doing hollow fights. Keep the Wormling back so that oh, I forgot to control it. Whoops. So that Waratah will get the 2 AP for infinite amount of turns. Alright. Let's see what it does. Okay, still hasn't hit yet. Let's just pass. Once again, I forgot to control my Wormling. Whoops. So obviously this is a pretty big map, which is why, you know, we have to wait till it gets close. Alright, there's the blue glyphs. It hit me and it put 50% erosion on my Echo Flip. So that's pretty bad, eh? Because it's erosion. Alright, so now what we need to do is get on the glyphs. Remember to control this. I'm going to put my summon here. And then relay my Echo Flip so that it gets the 2 AP. Now it's important to know that you cannot have summons on the blue glyph because they don't count. It actually needs to be actual characters. Alright, summon skill, put this sword here. Alright, let's craps me out to unlock myself. Start buffing up. Also gonna smell so that next turn I get AP. So now that we have all 3 characters on the blue glyphs, basically there is a penalty for being on the glyphs. That is, you become unmovable and you also lose 200 power. Now unfortunately that cannot be prevented because you have to end on the blue glyphs in order to make the boss vulnerable. So he puts another blue glyph, and you need to ensure that you need to ensure that you end on the blue glyphs again. So let's use this here to push that. Yeah, so you have to end on the blue glyphs again in order to make him vulnerable the following turn. So sometimes it can be a bit annoying, but essentially you have to end on the blue glyphs every single turn. One of the disadvantages about my team when I am doing this is that it has 30% fire resistance, and my team has 2 characters that deal fire damage. Yeah, but you know, this is the only team I have at the moment, and I don't want to bother any of my guildmates for now, so... Alright. So, Waratah is going to go here, and I'll hit it like this. Waratah can do pretty high damage. No crit on that. Let's go here with the sword to kind of, you know, lock it. Alright, so I have to end on this glyph. Perhaps I'll just Yowling twice. That'll heal my sack as well as hit the monster. Then I'll go here. Alright, I need to remember that Corrupted Bow is now 6 AP, so it's Corrupted Bow there. And then Paw Pads, and then end back on the blue glyph. That way, next turn, it'll be vulnerable for us to hit. Okay, the blue glyphs are there now. Alright, it's done quite a lot of damage there. Waratah's already on the blue glyph, so he's fine. I'm gonna leave there. So now let's summon this. Animal Tandem, my Echo Flip, and heal. Alright, Alright, I'm gonna resummon the red wormling here. And the reason why I'm doing that, I'll show you in a sec. Alright, let's hit and heal. Let's hit and heal. Now, the red wormling has a spell called Dragonic Mark, which basically acts like an Algonax prey. So when you hit the target, it has like a thing where if your allies hit the target, they'll heal 25%. Alright, so now let's hit. Yeah, see how I'm healing a quarter of the damage? That's pretty nice. Peccary Blade doesn't crit. That's 2 turns in a row. It's got 86% chance. Alright. I need to make my way over there on the other side, so I'm gonna... Oh, wait. Oh, Scampihorse actually has 0 lock, so I can dodge him easily. Alright, I'm actually gonna release my red wormling away because I don't want to risk it being killed, because if it does get killed then Waratah will lose his 2 AP buff. So, yeah, let's put it over there. Okay, let's see now. Yep, so, okay, the blue glyphs are there. Oh, that's strong. Yeah, pretty strong. But we should be fine here. Alright, Epiphany summons. Blue glyphs are here. Okay. So it looks like the Scampihorse unbewitched Waratah, so I'm gonna put the animal tandem on him again. And then heal him up. Then I'm gonna end on this thing here. Alright, yep, should be good. Let's hit the Scampihorse twice. The wormling's almost dead, so I'm gonna have to hide it. I don't want it to die because then Echo Flip will lose 2 AP since my Echo Flip is currently linked with Melanic. Alright, I'm gonna heal my Osa. And then I'll put this Dragonic Mark back on the Scampihorse. Alright, so you guys basically get the general idea of the fight. It's not too difficult. Weapon skill. Okay, let's gash. Wait, can I dodge? Yes, I can. But I lose some AP. Okay, so that should be enough. I'll go last. Finally a crit. Alright, 3 MP. Let's go there. Let's do Glyphis. You guys have seen my team in the Colosseum fight for the past like 4 videos I've uploaded. I've received some very good feedback from my subscribers. You know, people saying that my team is very strong. You know, it's almost impossible to kill my team. And I appreciate all the feedback. I agree with you guys because it is a very, very strong team. As you can see here, like, an ordinary team with low resistance would actually be struggling to beat Scampihorse. As you can see, like, my team has like very, very high resistances already, and you can see that Scampihorse is doing a large amount of damage on us. Like, imagine what would happen if you had lower resistance. You know, I've always had the saying that PvP players can do PvM fights very easily. However, not the other way around. So, if you're PvM geared, you can't do PvP fights easily because, you know, you'll get killed. But if you're PvP geared, you can do PvM pretty easily, because you won't be killed. Even if you're bad, you know, even if you do damage, because your gear is tanky and stuff, your resistance will keep you alive. Oh, whoop. Accidentally healed the Scampihorse. Alright, nah, it's fine. Yeah, but, you know, I don't mean to offend anyone by saying that. It's just like one of the things that I always had in mind. Alright, let's go. Gash, gash. Peccary blade. Okay. One more turn and it should be dead. Alright, the buffs. Oh, come on. Misclick. I Wheel of Fortune on my Osa by accident. It doesn't matter. It's dead next turn anyway. Alright, let's see. Okay, there's the blue glyph. It's killing my Melanic? Yeah, okay. That's fine. My Echo Flipper's lost at 2 AP. However, I can just relay him again because the cooldown's over, and now it's linked with my Albino Wormling. I'm gonna hit Scampihorse. And summon another Melanic Wormling, because the slot is available. And high energy shot. I'm not gonna even end on the glyph, because it doesn't matter. Scampihorse is gonna get his turn anyway, so there's no need to set up and make him vulnerable the following turn. Yeah, but, you know, in a nutshell, it took me around 5 turns to kill this bounty monster with a team of 3. Excluding 3 turns, because obviously I was far away and I couldn't do anything. So I am, you know, pretty satisfied considering I am a PvP geared team, and you know that my team could be higher damage dealers if I, you know, put like emphasis on my set into damage. But you know, PvP, you got to have some resistance. So, all right, it's dead. All right, so it's important to know that the people you invite to this team to do this fight, they can have the Scampihorse monster as part of their wanted quests. So like, you know, for the bounty. And if they beat this Scampihorse mob with you, they actually get the following, like the creature following, and then they can hand it into the jail or the militia, and they receive the Dofus. So that is a useful thing as well. You know, if you have a friend who can't find the actual monster, like in an area that it belongs to, you could always start a legendary treasure hunt and have them come along and help you kill the monster, and then that will update them in the wanted quest. Okay, so the most important part. Okay, so after you kill the legendary monster, you will receive what's called a chest, and the chest has a specific name to the monster you killed because it's a legendary treasure hunt, and this is the Scampihorse chest. So what you do with that is you open it, you gain some karmas. I got 2,148. You also gain some Rose of the Sands. The amount you gain is random, you know, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's a lot. I gained 881, however. You also gain some random resources. I got 3 ivory parchments. And most importantly, your certain resource, which is what you came for, the Scampihorse's rechargeable battery. So yeah, I got one of those, and now comes to a very important part of the video where I'm going to show you what you can do with this resource that'll get you profit. Earlier throughout the video, I mentioned that the easiest option is to simply sell it in the market. So I can do that. You know, you just put it for 1 karma less, and then yours will appear, and then someone will buy it. And that's easy profit. You know, you got some, you earn some karmas from the Rose of the Sands. 881 is about 100 KK. And if you remember, I believe the 8 map fragments cost 327 kk or something. So you're earning about 500 kk just from this treasure hunt and selling the battery like this. You earn about 500 kk. So in order to make actual profits from this battery, there are other numerous methods. Another method you could do is look at what you can craft the battery into. So you can craft it into deep sea bracelet, deep sea mask, and deep sea sandals. Now obviously if you're extremely broke, you probably wouldn't want farmers to buy, you know, the other resources required to craft these items. For example, the vortex wing is actually very expensive. So as you can see, you like 238 kk each one. It's pretty expensive. But if you do have enough karmas to, you know, buy these items, vortex wings and other stuff to craft it, then feel free to buy it and then sell it in the market, or mage it first and then sell it in the market. So I'm just going to show you some examples. Deep sea sandals here. So as you know, the Scampihorse battery was 750 kk. 8 vortex wings is 1.9 million. So that plus the battery is already 2.65 million. And if you combine it with the Borka nail and dimensional fabric, that's over 3.2 million. So immediately you can tell that crafting it into a deep sea sandal and then selling it in the market, you're already making a loss, because the cheapest unit is 2.9 million. And judging from the, you know, the amount of boots there are in the market, you can tell that this item is probably not very popular, meaning not many people use it. And I can confirm this because I am experienced when it comes to items and meta sets, that these boots are not often used. The second item is this deep sea mask. This item is frequently used. So if you take a look, vortex wing 3.1 million, and then you have all this stuff here that brings you to about 3.1, and then this will be 3.7, and then this is 4.1, and then 4.8 million, and then you combine it with this, roughly 4.9 million to craft. So the cheapest unit in the market is 7 million, and if you take a look at the stats, it's vitality over mage, but you know the other stats are pretty bad. You know, it's missing lock, MP parry, earth resistance is low. So there is potential profit if you craft this into a deep sea mask. However, the item that I do, and you know, I'm telling you this because I don't mind revealing my strategy, is a deep sea bracelet. So if you take a look here, you craft it into a vortex, you buy the vortex wings and all that stuff, roughly 3.5 million to craft, and the cheapest unit is 4.3 million. So what you can do is request a mage, like somebody else to mage for you, and that'll cost you about 100 kk, and then you sell it in the market for like 4.2 million, and that's profit right there. Or what I do is I actually exo mage the ring, because this ring is on high demand. As you can tell, the market only has 2 rings at the moment that are exo mage. This one's shit stats as well, 53 out of 60 chance. This one here is good stats except for the wisdom, but 25 million is a bit overkill, so I don't think anyone would buy that. But you know, you get the point. Exo maging this deep sea bracelet and then selling it is the best way to make profit from the Scampihorse rechargeable battery treasure hunt, in my opinion. And I'd just like to show you an example here. This ring here I maged earlier in 2020. It's the best deep sea bracelet ever maged. Extremely nice stats. It was only achievable by a range drop, as you can see here from the range. Yeah. And also another ring here, AP EXO, pretty decent stats as well. But you know, you're maging for profit. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Stats like this are sufficient enough to sell. I believe I sold this one for 21 million. This one was 21 million. And this 1 MP 1% water one was for 40 million actually. Yeah, 40 million. I sold it immediately. I got a buy immediately when I posted it in the Echo Discord. So yeah, I'm not saying that you guys can get or should get stats like this, but if you just get average stats, like 4 MP parry, 8 lock, 11 water damage, 56 chance, you know what I mean. It's sufficient enough to sell for at least like 17 or 18 million. So yeah, that's worth it. So yeah, that's my example of the Scampihorse monster, Scampihorse rechargeable battery. Now, before I wrap up the video, I want to show you an example of the Atcham. Now, if you remember Atcham, the hair cost 2.9 million. Average price is wrong. 2.9 million was the cost price in the market. And if you craft it into, whatever these are, Cat's Eye resources are actually very, very cheap now because people are doing a lot of leeching there. If you craft it, it'll probably be around 4 million for the Atcham Sabers. And if you take a look at the market, the cheapest unit is 2.8 million. So, Atcham Sabers is not profitable. Atcham Cape, let's take a look at that. 2.9 million, and then all this crafting, roughly 3.5 million, I'd say. Oh no, actually, no, 3.8 million in total. So no, Atcham Cape is not profitable either. Let's see, Atcham sandals. The craft 2.9, and then that's 3.3, and then that's 3.8, and then that's 4, and then that's like 4.2 million. Atcham sandals. No, Atcham sandals is not profitable either. So the point that I'm trying to make here is you need to do a little bit of research before you decide to, choose which legendary treasure hunt you want to, that you want to hunt for. Firstly, you need to analyze the cost of the map fragments, as I showed you before with the Atcham and Scampihorse example. You can tell that Atcham, the hair, like the resource, the Atcham hair, is profitable because it is 2.9 million. Yeah, it's profitable, the Atcham hair, and then if you look at the map fragments, they cost less than 2.9 million. But as you can see, one of them is missing, so that's going to be a bit of a hassle. You're going to have to go in the trade chat and try and look for this, and then whenever you find someone, they're going to look in the market and see that there's none in the market. So they're going to overcharge you and ask you to pay like 800,000 or something. It has happened to me. It's a bit ridiculous, but that's the logic of some people. Yeah, so overall, I don't think Atcham is worth it. Not to mention the Atcham monster, when you fight it, is actually extremely difficult. It's like much more difficult than Scampihorse. Like, my team of 3 would not have a chance against Atcham. You need at least like 6 people to do it. However, if you are, a lower level player, such as like a level 100 or something, feel free to do things like Brewman. Brewman's, you can craft it into one of these, or the cheapest and safest option is just sell it in the market. Like the map fragments are cheap, and when you finish the hunt, just sell the Brewman's elixir. There's other examples such as Zatoshi one's hairs, 1.4 million, and if you look at the map fragments, they're pretty cheap as well. So Zatoshi one is a pretty easy bounty. Just do some research. For example, let's say you go on the wiki and you go Zatoshi one, and you see, the stats here, 40% air. Oh, so it's got a bit of high resistance, but if you bring an agility character, it should be easy. It doesn't do much damage at all. It's pretty easy. I've soloed this monster as an agility Algonac before. Yeah. So apart from that, that's pretty much all I have for this video. It's a pretty long video, I know, because it's the There's a lot to go through. I'm going to make a summary on the end of this video, and if you have any further questions, feel free to ask them, because, you know, it's not often that I do a karmas guide, and when I do, I want everyone to be absolutely certain and make use of the karmas method, because it's one of the ways that I used to make karmas in my road to 1 billion karmas. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not actually doing that. But yeah. Okay, so thanks for watching. Happy New Year, and let me know what you think. See ya.